In Washington, the news cycle never quits. This week, we got a major escalation in the trade war, more staff reductions at federal agencies, plus continued cuts to programs and funding. We know it's a lot, but here are a few stories you might have missed out of D.C. this week amid the deluge of news. I'm Kimberly Adams, senior Washington correspondent at Marketplace. To kick things off, the Supreme Court is weighing whether states can block Planned Parenthood from receiving funding through Medicaid. On Wednesday, SCOTUS heard arguments in a case out of South Carolina. It's a technical argument about a patient's right to choose their own providers, but the outcome of the case could have nationwide implications. Federal law restricts Medicaid funding for abortions, but if South Carolina wins, other states could block federal Medicaid funds from going to Planned Parenthood, even for non-abortion services. And Congress is clashing again over the budget. This week, deficit hawks in the House of Representatives pushed back against a plan out of the Senate to pay for President Trump's legislative agenda. Senate Republicans want to reduce the deficit by $1.5 to $2 trillion as part of their reconciliation bill, although some Senate conservatives are pushing for cuts as high as $6.5 trillion, according to Politico. But House Republicans and many economists are taking issue with the budgetary strategy the Senate GOP wants to use that could make the cost of the legislation appear much smaller on paper or disappear altogether. And finally, the era of cheap clothes from Temu and Shein may be coming to an end in May. On top of all the other tariffs being rolled out by the Trump administration, the White House announced this week it sorted out the details on how to crack down on what's known as the de minimis trade exemption. That allowed for packages worth $800 or less to avoid some customs inspections and import taxes. In recent years, this exemption fueled the explosion of fast fashion shopping in the U.S., with cheap clothes mostly coming from China. Now, the Trump administration says that loophole is closing on May 2nd. Those are just a few of the stories you might have missed out of D.C. this week. If you like these stories, drop a thumbs up in the comments and listen to Make Me Smart wherever you get your podcasts.